indeed Big Brother Bell here to give you all that you want and what you need. Today we're going to talk about mental health issues as a student athlete.
Hoop loud.
If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll put out information every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you be more impactful both on and off the basketball court. Just because you may be going through something in regards to mental health illness does not mean you're less of a competitor. Does not mean that you're soft. Does not mean that you're weak. It just means that you're human. So today, hopefully in this video, I get to destigmatize what you may be feeling about going to see a counselor. And realize that it's okay, realize nothing's wrong with it, and realize that you're still a competitor. This is a topic that does not get talked about enough because everybody's so worried about being a dog, being a bull, being a beast. All those things that define you as being great at your sport. All those things remove any type of human characteristic of you being a person, so people like that. People like that feeling that you're supposed to be invincible, like things don't bother you. But when you really look at it, when you really look at it, you realize that, you know what, you're still human. You still deal with loss, just like other human beings. You still deal with trauma, like any other human being. You still deal with depression, just like any other human being. But a lot of times we sweep that under the rug because you're supposed to be invincible. You're supposed to feel like nothing can bother you. And if it does bother you, all you have to do is just get more focus or put more time in the gym or do more reps, do more sets, and that's going to cure it. But I'm going to tell you here today, that's not going to cure it. And guess what? No matter how many reps you throw up, no matter how much you bench press, at the end of the day, you're still human. You still have to take care of yourself as human. And you may think that this is hokey. You may think this is corny. You may think this is lame. But even the champions of the champions, those that build dynasties, those like Phil Jackson, have his players go through mental exercises during practice, mental exercises before the game, mental exercises while they're on the bus. And some of his books that he's come out with, as well as some of his players has been interviewed saying that Phil Jackson has them going through things like visualizing the ball going through the net as they're releasing the ball. How does the crowd sound? How does the air smell? Can you smell the popcorn? Can you do this? Can you follow through? All these things mentally that puts them in a better position to win. Now, I know if you haven't heard this already, there's a famous quote that says 90% of the game is mental and 10% is actually physical. If everyone is putting that much focus on the mental side of it positively, then there has to be a negative side of it as well. That's what we're going to talk a little bit about today as far as mental health. I'm no licensed counselor, so I can't diagnose you from this YouTube channel. But what I want to do with this video today is to destigmatize what it may look like if you want to use those services. And today I'm going to give you reasons why you should use those services. The things I'm talking about today, I'm talking about college student athletes. It's not for high school this time. Now, much of my content on this channel is for high school and college, but this is for college in particular. Number one, the first reason why you should consider going to see your counselor on campus is they're of the few people that can offer you an unbiased opinion. They can give you unbiased feedback, and they can be unbiased listeners as well. And that's important because as you're going through your time as being a student athlete on a college campus, whether it be academically or whether it be athletically or whether it be socially, maybe it's emotionally, maybe it's spiritually, whatever it is you're going through, you're going to need someone that does not have you're going to need someone that doesn't have skin in the game. You're going to need somebody that does not automatically jump to your rescue, jump to your aid. It's like, you're right, kid. You're right, girl. Or you're right. Yeah, I agree with you. You don't want any yes people. You want people that will just be there to listen, offer some feedback, and not just tell you what you want to hear. Now, this channel is very good for that. This channel is very good for that. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because I put out content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I'm no counselor. I'm not a licensed counselor. I can give you my opinion, but these people are licensed professionals. And you have them on campus, so make sure you utilize them. Number two, it's a way to process some things. It's a way to process things that have gone on in your life. Again, no matter how much of a beast you are, no matter how much of a young bull you are, no matter how much of a dog you are, you're human. And things happen to you that you have to process, you have to make sense of, and you have to actually live in this world. Losing a parent can be very, very, very tough. Believe me, I know. Being molested, seeing someone get murdered. If you name it, student athletes go through that much like the rest of the population. It's not separate. You're still a human being. You still have to deal with that. I'm reminded of a book by Keon Doolan called What's Driving You? Now, if you don't know who Keon Doolan is, make sure you Google him. You can even YouTube him. He was a player that came out of University of Missouri. He's from Florida, but just a phenomenal talent, amazing point guard, just an amazing player. And he did a great job both in college and in the pros. And when you watch him, you would never think that he was dealing with some mental health issues. You would never think that was something that he dealt with. Because, I mean, real men don't go through mental health issues, right? But the fact of the matter is he did go through a lot of mental health issues. And one of them is he was molested as a child, something that he was carrying on for much of his career. He was dealing with this. Trying to appear like everything was okay, but still having these sudden outbursts of rage and anger that people really couldn't understand, had everything to do with what happened to him in his childhood. Why do I say that? I say that because you need somebody that can help you process those kinds of things. So this counselor on campus, did you have on your counselor? Did you have on your campus? It's great for that. Instead of leaning on somebody else, lean on your counselor. Number 3, another reason why you might want to consider going to see your counselor is this. Many of your universities, not all of them, but many of your universities, colleges and universities, it's already in your student fees. So if you get one of these, if you get a printout, whether you're on scholarship or not, if you get a printout, when you get a printout, it tells you, okay, what you're all paying for, whether it be room, whether it be board, whether it be recreation fees, all that stuff. You'll see an itemized list of everything that you're paying for. And health services, many times mental health is under there. Talking to your counselor is under there. And all that stuff is already paid for. Now again, this is not all universities, because some universities build that stuff out, but it's your job to go and figure out what that is. Number 4, this will be my last one. Normally I don't end on the 4, I end on like a 5 or a 10, but today I'm going to end on the 4. My last reason what I want to tell you is why you should definitely go check out your counselor is it's confidential. Even if your coach sent you there and said, hey, I think you need to go see the counselor, what you discuss in the office is not your coach's business. It's not your coach's business. By law, the counselor can't tell your coach what happened. So if you don't know this, there's something called being a mandatory reporter. Many of the administrators, professors, or whomever on campus, there are very few people on campus that don't fall under that umbrella of mandatory reporter. Mandatory reporter basically means if I see something, if I hear something, I have to make sure I report this to somebody. Of all the people under that umbrella, a counselor does not have to follow by those rules. A clergyman does not necessarily have to follow by those rules. A pastor doesn't necessarily have to follow by those rules. They don't have to follow those rules. They do not abide by those same rules by law. So that should give you a breath of fresh air in the sense of you can be vulnerable, you can be transparent, you can be open and honest about what you're going through and don't feel judged about it. Because again, you're human. Realize that. There's a lot of information I gave you today, but if you don't remember anything, remember this. If you're going through anything dealing with mental health issues, realize that you're not corny, you're not lame, you're not less competitive, you're not soft, you're not weak, none of that. You're human. So give yourself the space and the time to be able to deal with what you're going through as a human being. Because guess what? We all go through things. We all go through things and we all need someone that we can talk to as we're going through that process. Don't be hard on yourself as it relates to that. Now again, this is different of being focused on the free throw line, blocking out the crowd, and hitting the free throw. That's different. It has nothing to do with mental health issues. I'm talking about trauma. I'm talking about depression. I'm talking about dealing with law. And realize that you have a support group around you that's just going to do just that. They're going to support you. Now, I hope you got something from this video. I hope it destigmatized some of the thoughts that you had in your mind about being weak and soft, about dealing with mental health related issues. Hopefully it opened your eyes to actually what's the reality of it. And the reality is, guess what? You're still human, just like everybody else. So I hope this helped. So as always, whether it's on the court or off, in the classroom or out, graduate at the top of your class. Hoop louder.